Rich in nutrients, immune-boosting proteins, and beneficial bacteria, breast milk has long been hailed as nature's perfect food for babies. But did you know it also holds a lot of benefits for moms and the economy? This is National Breastfeeding Week in Canada, and joining me now to talk more about the benefits of breast milk is Meghan Azad, Director of Manitoba's Interdisciplinary Lactation Centre and a well-known research scientist on this topic. Meghan, so good to speak with you.
My pleasure. Happy Breastfeeding Week.
Let's start with some of the health benefits of breastfeeding for babies, because it really goes far beyond being just nutritious, right?
Absolutely. So breast milk is a food, of course, but it is so much more than that. So it provides immune benefits, helping babies prevent infection early in life. It can also help them longer term. So it's associated with lower risks of asthma and obesity later in childhood, for example.
And moms who breastfeed can also see long-term health benefits, even cutting their risk of some cancers, I understand.
Exactly. So we focus a lot on the benefits of breast milk for babies, which makes sense, but we often forget that there are maternal benefits too. So the research shows that moms who breastfeed have lower risks of, as you mentioned, certain cancers, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, also cardiovascular disease, as well as type 2 diabetes.
These health protections from breastfeeding go a long way to cutting healthcare costs, hence how I kind of tease that it helps the economy. Can you explain how it does this?
Exactly. So, I mean, healthier people are using less healthcare dollars at the end of the day, right? And so that's a big part of it. But you can think of this in many ways. So, for example, if babies are breastfed and therefore get less infections, they're less likely to have to stay home. Their parents are less likely to have to stay home from work. So there's not just the healthcare dollars, but also the dollars that are saved by people being more contributing to the economy.
Despite all of this, not all moms breastfeed. I know I had a difficult time doing it with my first son. Are there enough supports available to moms these days?
Excellent question. So although we focus on the fact that breastfeeding is natural and the normal way to feed a baby, that does not mean that it's automatic or easy. And a lot of moms do struggle, especially in those first few days, especially when it's their first time around. So often a mom needs some support, and hopefully they get that from nurses at the hospital. So nurses should all be trained in supporting breastfeeding, but sometimes they need even more help than that, right? They might have a really specific issue with milk supply or latch. And for that, we have lactation consultants. So these are professionally certified individuals who are trained in supporting lactation. And ideally, we'd love to have some of those in every hospital where babies are born in Manitoba. But historically, that hasn't always been the case. For example, about 7 years ago, when the new government came in, there were cutbacks, and one of our hospitals cut the lactation consultants. We've now got research and evidence to show that that resulted in lower breastfeeding rates and more formula feeding in the hospital. So this shows us how important those supports really are. And it goes beyond the hospital too. So there are breastfeeding support groups, there are peer mentorship programs, a lot of supports available, but we can always have more.
What is your advice to moms or moms to be successful when it comes to breastfeeding?
Yeah, I think an important message is every drop counts. So there are recommendations that moms should try and exclusively breastfeed for 6 months and keep going up to 2 years and longer. And that is wonderful if it works for you. But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because every drop counts. We see literally benefits from just 1 or 2 days of breastfeeding, because that first milk, which we call colostrum, it looks very different. You can tell it's kind of gooey and yellow color. That's because it's full of important antibodies for the baby. So even a couple days is helpful, and every bit longer you can go is helpful. And so we know that it's not always easy in the first days, but there's help out there for you. And so really just to keep going and to look for help if you need it.
Well, Meghan, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. You win for the best background I've had in a long time as well. Great speaking with you.
Thank you. All right, my pleasure.